knots, not miles per hour. Well, I'm glad someone got that. Because boats don't travel in miles per hour or kilometres per hour, they travel in knots.
They travel in knots, yeah.
Yeah.
And nautical miles as well. It's not real miles.
That's a good point. How many mph in a knot? One knot is 1.1 mile per hour.
What's the fucking point?
So they're basically doing the same speed. We've conquered all
What's the
of
top
you.
speed of some of these cars? What are we talking?
Fucking don't know, to be fair to you. That's a good question, that, Tony.
Where it's raining, not very fast.
Maybe ask that in the chat and Jamie can answer you. You up, Beth?
Yeah. I
don't know, actually playing for once.
But would they touch like 150 or was it?
Oh, they could easily touch 150, yeah. So car 19, who's
I'd
car
like
19?
to see a fucking boat doing 150.
Yeah, I don't think a boat's got the same kind of top speed.
One tried, it was called
yeah.
Bluebird, and it went upside down, and that didn't end well, did it?
No.
You up, Beth? Yeah.
Took off, did a somersault, bang.
And killed Donald Campbell, yeah.
One of the Porsches, I think it's John Andrews, was running 11 traction control 2, 11 traction control, and 11 ABS.
So the fastest water speed vehicle is the Spirit of Australia, 317 miles an hour. I wouldn't want to go in that fast on, because if that bounces and hits that fucking water, it's going to rip it apart.
It will rip it apart, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. When I was in the Navy, I was on the Hermes, which is a commando carrier.
It is a small boat, yeah. It's a design.
37,500 ton, whatever it was.
266 he's it there.
And that
So
used to do 26, 27 knots. Full
In the
tilt.
wet, Tony, sorry to
And
interrupt.
that was, well, it was
Of
wet
course the
because it
ship
was
was in the
water.
wet, you fucking moron.
He's just reached
Like I said,
166.
was that in the
boat on
wet,
ship
the
would be
speed-
shaking.
I didn't say was it in the wet.
Yes, you did.
Oh no, I'm
Did
on
I?
about this. I'm on about in the wet. This guy's reaching 166 miles per hour.
Tony sat there going, we reached 20-something fucking knots. And Matt goes,
Sorry,
in the
160.
wet? Of course the boat was in the fucking wet.
I was having
The
my own
boat was
little
on the back
fucking.
of a fucking lorry at the time. It was in the wet, you moron.
He's doing 165 mile an hour down the fucking back straight. Shut the fuck up, Rob. Still gonna rain in half an hour, and it rain's intensifying.
It is rain intensifying at 10 minutes, isn't it? Look
Fucking
at
hell,
that.
yeah, and half an hour as well.
Tony's not been away. I've not been on. I've been playing my Zelda game, haven't
Tears of a Kingdom.
I? Yeah.
We're never gonna stop.
Is it? I did for a while,
DJ
wasn't
Phil messaged me saying that you've cursed him.
Oh, fucking don't. He's not shut the fuck up all afternoon.
Yeah, but remember, I'm commentating on Thursday, so who can I curse?
You need to know now, I'm going to let the ones who have not done testing, the ones who have not
Not me,
tested
Simon,
this
it's you.
week since
Can't quite hear that.
Thursday, and
Oh,
if they're
well,
not
I'll
tested
turn him off.
since
Fuck off, Phil. Who's 85?
We'll see.
Is this Barra? The Barra bloke?
It's a Bentley.
Yeah.
It's a
I know
Bentley.
that.
Yeah, it's ba 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 ba.
Baraba. Where is Baraba? What's his fucking... Oh, it's Alejandro, isn't it? Alessandro Baraba.
Oh, play Viva as well.
We're never gonna stop.
Oh, this fucking cough that you've given us, Matt.
Don't fucking blame me. I got it from Emily.
How could you have got it from Emily, you moron? I'd have had it first.
She was ill the week before with Axel.
It's not the same one.
You got me to pick Axel up from school and then I come
not the
down
same
with it.
one.
Nah, don't hear it. Don't blame me for this cough. Axel gave it me when I picked him up from nursery that day.
I didn't blame you for it. I just said you gave it us.
I apologise to you, Rob.
I
And I
think you were sat there in
apologise
some fucking
to
lab
Axel.
producing it,
Yeah.
trying to make COVID too.
Sarah, who you're with? She produced it in a lab and just fucking infected you with it.
Probably have.
You know what she's done? Caused absolute chaos.
Absolute chaos. So I was editing the highlights today, PN, for the last two races of ACC and the last race of F1.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And
I was watching them.
the start of race 2, there was me and Nausea spun at the start of race 2 in the feature race of F1.
Yeah.
And Dan went, it's caused absolute chaos.
And you not got the clip?
I've just got to re-edit the clip to find that bit.
Oh,
I've not deleted it. Because obviously I get rid of all the sound and put music over the top. You got Beth? No, not
Is it going to be a
absolute-
highlight reel
absolute.
for the 2.4?
No.
I mean, taking away
I
everything.
am not sitting through 2 hours and 20 odd minutes of that shit to do highlights for it. You can fuck off.
do you not
That'll
keep
be a
any of
no
the
then.
commentary in your highlights?
I've learnt how to do it, so for this season I will be doing, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jamie Brazier on Racing Unleashed. Yeah, that's what we're commentating on tonight, Racing Unleashed.
You're pushing on shut up.
Simply,
Jamie
then.
doesn't. If Jamie don't join, I'll jump in the comms.
Yes, good lad. That's what I fucking want to hear, PN.
Well, I'm on now, so. I'll play
I mean,
Destiny
you're
on
more than
Friday.
welcome to be in the commentary box with us anyway, and just pop in with Pitt's entry things anyway, being a commentator on Thursday. Because Phil was voice chatting me today. Can I join your commentary box? I'll be your special guest. Oh, fucking special guest, all right, yeah.
Special,
I said-
alright.
I said no. I said no, Phil. We're not having any guests. It's just the commentators or drivers for interviews. That's all we're having in this season. We're not, we're not doing.
I think he got a bit jealous because I was in a few times as a special guest.
Yeah. See, obviously
Well,
you
when
were
it was
open.
me
You
on
were
the
open
air.
out because it were Bozzy let us down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, Ginger Bush is absolutely broadside, then.
Yes.
I wonder if he does, in fact, have a
Me
Ginger
and
Bush.
Yeah. Oh, not this one. No, I'll do this one tomorrow.
He would then be a she, surely.
Yeah, I did the last one. I sent him the last one. Last week.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this bike for now. I'll just come up and ride down tomorrow. I think.
Right, who's next?
Matt.
Yeah.
No, I can't be arsed. Yeah.
Hey.
I'll walk back up and then
Yeah. No worries, bud.
ride down, mate.
No worries, my mate.
Is he getting quicker?
No, he's not even told me what car he's running.
He's not even a bloody arm.
He's a fucking
not-
football trainer, apparently.
What?
Studio mode, live screen. No, start screen.
No, I've done a workout.
Transition.
No.
Go live. No, I don't want to go
You're
live.
on
just yet.
maximum warp.
50-minute workout. Start a weight loss thing with Matt. Matt does it for a week and stays a fat bastard.
What do you mean? We've done it for a couple of weeks. To be fair, we did at least a month.
You did about 8 bike rides.
And a few
Oh,
workouts.
sorry,
now.
you did a 40-second workout.
Yeah, you got it.
You loaded a 40-second video
And did it for about an hour. Yeah.
and did one exercise for an
Because
hour.
I'm that
Same day.
fucking good, mate.
Because you're a moron.
Because I'm God mode. Pierre, have you heard YouTube on about changing their thing to get a partnership with them?
What are they?
On about lowering it to 500 subscribers you need. Which means SimPlay is 76 subscribers away.
But surely, with all these new
Have you
lads
seen
who've got
all the crap at
like
Twitch
tonight,
doing
they'll make
now?
a push to get subscribers.
Well,
You
this will
think
give us
so,
a push
more?
to get subscribers now, yeah. And no, what are Twitch doing?
Well, unless you're endorsed by something, you're not allowed to wear that brand on stream, on camera.
Hey,
So
What,
you can't.
So I'm not allowed to
Like
have my Aston
where-
Martin top on camera?
Yeah, you can't wear that. You can't wear Ferrari. You can't wear nothing like that.
hang on. So
No.
surely though, anything branded, you can't
Yeah.
wear Primark if you don't.
Well, it doesn't say it's Primark, does it?
Does on the inside of it. What if I put it on inside out by accident?
What if you're a complete pleb and part twist?
You're a fucking dickhead, you are. You always got to fucking argue it, ain't you? Well, what if I did this? Well, what if I did this? What if I did that?
Yeah, but the person I'm
think it's
arguing with
bullshit.
is Twitch. I'm arguing
No,
with
I
how
know what you
bullshit
mean.
the idea is.
I think it's bullshit, personally.
You're
Twitch are
Because
making it so that unless
Can
you're
you tell what you said?
affiliated or associated with any brand,
How can I
no,
be like,
you're not
wait,
allowed to. It's not be like if you got sponsorship, say with Monster Energy.
it's their fucking site. You don't stream to their site. That's how they dictate it. That's how they dictate whether or not you get your wang
trying
out.
to get his laptop out.
We were not allowed following products or services, weapons, adult-orientated products or services, tobacco and
No, not because
tobacco-related
for some
products.
reason. it's
So you
not
can't
coming
even light up a cigarette on stream anymore,
Because
or vape.
I don't know.
It's just fine. People just won't have face cams on, will they?
They'll just destroy their own fucking market.
They are.
Yeah.
on. We are back here in France.
Oh, I've noticed,
That's,
you know, Game, Matt.
Yeah.
They're no longer going to be taking cash trading. It's just for exchange.
Why?
I don't know. Just store credit only, apparently, going forward.
Renegade never gave you really fuck all for
You can
cash.
go upstairs
anyway.
for half-hour James on
Yeah,
PlayStation.
I mean, I never
Floyd,
got
you
cash
can as
if
well.
I'm selling something.
You might as well just sell it privately like I did with Switch Lite.
Yeah.
I've got more for it than I could do. Would have done trading it in that game or CEX, so.
Copy. Post. Right, going in the comms box. Catch you all later.
Yeah, catch you in a bit.
Yeah, I'll jump over. I'll come in the comms box.
Alright. Let's go and cause absolute chaos.
Bye.
It's gonna be absolute chaos.
Absolute chaos.
We've got to say it in stream. Rob's saying.
That's fine. Deal. I'm all over that shit. Dan said when I was editing the highlights earlier on F1, there was a spin and Dan went, oh, it's absolute chaos. So Rob's just told PN before PN coming here that we've got to say it on stream tonight.
And you wonder why I have so many hours on this game now. I've just been sitting here watching everyone go in the bloody pits.
It's absolute chaos. We're never gonna stop.
See, I like
I'm meant
F1.
to be a professional, yeah. It's meant to be.
Right, so no Leon, no Dean.
Well, we don't know about fucking Dean. Unless he's marked no. I asked him. Drivers was asked and he was the first one who got back to me and said yes.
What, about demoting him?
About demoting him, I asked Welshie Stealth, Dean and Smithy. And Dean was the first one who
Leon's
come back.
declined.
Yeah, I know
Leon's
Leon has.
declined.
I knew Leon has.
Yeah.
Who was in what from where? No, Welsh hasn't. We only needed one to drop in. Yeah, at the time we just needed one.
Well, I might be in Ham next year because I can't race Wednesdays anymore. In September.
How come?
Oh, my sister's college days change.
Ah,
I've
right,
got to look
fair
after my
enough.
niece and nephew.
Put that there.
That's a
Yeah.
good way to spell France.
You never know. Have I spelled France wrong? Oh, fuck's sake, I don't care.
Jamie's online.
Paul Ricard in France. Right, we go live in 2 minutes, in 3 minutes. So Jamie best fucking get his arse in gear. Yeah, he's on.
Don't forget, you're a standard moderator for this channel. I know, YouTube.
Who's put love hearts on the fucking thing? What's with these fucking love heart emoji things here?
I know, it's awful.
Oh,
God,
someone's
just loaded
using the
it.
fuel bot.
What I do is I'll just stay on mute unless there's something needed.
Yeah.
And plus my stream, we get the comms.
Yeah, but make sure you're telling him to come over to Simply.
Well, I've got it in the banner because I've got the chat up on the stream, on the TV as well, you know. The
I
standard
do have
Twitch.
respect for your shit. I'm trying to get this sorted quickly.
It does say Simply Motorsport at the bottom.
Looking forward to this, Daz. You are. Fucking we are. It's fucking
Was that
fun.
Daz?
Daz in the chat.
It's wherever or not as pocket. I'm going to say that. We're going to say that as well.
Looking
Confuse
forward
that
to
kid.
this one, he says. Jamie, where are you, you cunt? He's in this party, isn't he?
Yeah.
Are we sure? Yeah, he is. He is, yeah.
He is. He would be, wouldn't he? Because he won F1
Yeah.
races, hasn't he?
Could I have a drink, babe? A glass of pop or something, please? Jamie,
Yes.
look at the track conditions.
I'm not in the lobby yet.
Fucking hurry up then! Simplay 1, don't forget. Simplay 1, Jamie. Simplay 1. Copy? Copy?
Yeah.
Pick confirm.
Oh, Jamie Brady, wow! Get that out of the way quickly. Oof. Didn't want to do that midstream. Fuck me.
Well,
Come on, Jamie, let's hear it. Wow! Yes. His mum's home. He's quiet.
Come on, boys!
Right. Going live at when the thing says 30 minutes, 30 seconds, we will be live. So it's 30 seconds time, just under. Nice to note that the rain is still going to intensify over the next half an hour. Jamie, let me know when you're in the session and you've seen the track conditions.
I am in the session and they look lovely.
They look lovely, Jamie, don't they? 40% rain this is. 40% rain.
and I'm on mute most of it anyway.
Cabinets.
You are, Jamie?
How many people are meant to be in AM?
So there's 13, 2 can't race tonight, 1's down as tentative. Don't know, Dean's not marked anything, so 9 have confirmed at the minute.
Oh.
Don't even know what car Dean's in. Good that is, isn't it? By the way, congratulations on team name of the season.
What, me?
You and Overtaker. Button Basher Racing, love that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. 13 minutes we're going to be live. 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Simplay Motorsport. We've had a month off from our competitive racing, but we are back. We are raring to go, and we have a brand new division for you this evening. It is the AM category. 9 drivers out there, a potential of 11 tonight. 2 sadly cannot make it. We have got a 13-car grid. If you want to get yourself involved, head over to Discord or our Facebook page and message one of our admins or sign up to Discord, get yourself involved, or head over to SimGrid as well, get yourself registered there, as well as join the Discord to read the rules and regulations, because there is still seats left. But it is AM, it is season 2 of Simplay Motorsport, and I've got to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we say the correct league this evening after a cock up the other week on another league that I commentate on. But it's great to be back. It's great to be here. And I'm joined by a fellow who I haven't commentated with for some time. It's the one and only Big Boy Brazier. Jamie, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Matt. I'm very well, thank you.
We're looking forward to this one. Season 2 starts.
Oh yeah, very looking forward. Lot of changes this season. As the viewers can probably see, one of the big changes, the weather.
Yes, the weather this season. They had a season of completely dry weather. They had a season of completely easy conditions. But it is weather that will be locked in on a Thursday. So all 3 leagues will have the same night of weather. We believe the weather is 40% rain. Now, the way it works on Assetto Corsa is you set it in the lobby. That is from practice 1, which started at 7 o'clock UK time, until the end of what is only 1 race in Pro-Am. So they have 40% over a 45-minute race, an hour and 10-minute practice session, and a 10-minute qualifying session. And as JR says in the chat, it is as wet as an otter's pocket in this circuit. And it's typical French weather, if you ask me, Jamie.
It is very typical French weather. It looks very, very, very treacherous out there at the moment.
Now, all these names, to myself, to Jamie Brazier, to the admin, to you viewers at home, you will not recognise any of these names. That is because all these drivers are brand new in this AM category. So let's run you through some of the drivers on track. We're currently on board with Baraba, 1985, in his green and blue Bentley. Absolutely gorgeous car that is, or the Boatley, should I say, and that's probably the best car to be in tonight. You'd probably need a boat in these flooded conditions. JP, 9128, in his Ferrari, tearing it up around the French Paul Ricard circuit. Obviously, Ferrari big winners in Le Mans at the weekend. Can they take the amateur title this season on JP's hands? John Andrews is here in his black and red chrome Porsche. He's in the Porsche 56. Danlick 72 in his red and white McLaren. Lovely looking car. That one is there. Future Revenger 55. Another Bentley on the circuit. And it is light blue and red. Shoemaker 7296 in his all black McLaren. The Ginger Bush in his yellow and purple Porsche 911 there then. Or 991, sorry, apologies, it's 991. And ALP 75 in his Ferrari, blue and black, and an NTS in his all chrome with light blue trim, McLaren 720S. And Jamie, all these drivers brand new to Simplay Motorsport and brand new to our channel. What are we going to expect in this amateur league? Because looking at the timing screens, there's a mixture of times out there at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a mix of some very fast guys and some guys that are probably just learning the game for the first time. But as the season goes on, I think tonight is probably going to be a bit of an outlier. It's probably round number 2 or round number 3 is where you're going to see the true pace of people come to the front, because some of the people might not have raced in the rain.
Exactly.
And they might be brand new to Assetto Corsa.
So tentative for tonight is F2R Checo G Brest. That's his Discord name. Whether that's his PSN name, we'll find out. But he is tentative for tonight. No Ben Bath tonight. He's not here. He's away on holiday. No Leon Fernie. He's a returning face that you might remember. And at the minute, we're unsure about Dean Wysocki as well. He should be here tonight. Another returning face in this one. And Jamie, Dean Wysocki, Leon Fernie, they've been here for a while. Dean especially, a very experienced driver here at Simplay Motorsport. He's had 187 race starts to his name. Making the step down to amateur this season, do you think that could do Dean some good?
Yeah, it could definitely do Dean some good, because you've got people who've not been on Simplay before, so you have people like Dean and Leon Fernie. They'll be able to show these guys how we race, and hopefully Dean would just be able to get himself to the front and get himself back to Pro-Am.
Indeed it is. Good evening to Dan on Orthodox, PM Motorsport, Daz Automatic, UMVDM, Fury's Grandad, JR Sim Racing. Evening JR, nice to see you here. It's been a while. Rob Hunt in the chat, Green Wolfinator as well. It's absolutely throwing it down, says Rob Hunt in the chat. And Dan on Orthodox, well, here in Kyle Army, it's beautiful sunshine, making thumbnails. Easy life for some, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you'll notice a pattern this season, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, with our thumbnails. Jamie, what car won in Pro-Am last season?
The Lamborghini.
The Bentley won in Pro-Am last season in Holty's hands.
Yeah.
So what you'll notice on every Pro-Am thumbnail, we have the Simplay Motorsport Bentley, because that is a car that myself and Monkey Boy drove on a PC event one time. What car won in Pro?
The McLaren.
The McLaren. So the Pro thumbnails are the Simplay Motorsport McLaren. And even though you can't get the M4 in Pro-Am. We've got the Simplay Motorsport BMW M4 for you guys on them thumbnails. And Dan on Orthodubs doing a beautiful job with the thumbnails as always. We've got PN Motorsport, our on-track steward for tonight, because we have to speak about this part of the circuit where Ginger Bush is coming up to now. If we go, there's on board, look at the view he's got there, look at his horrific conditions there, especially in the spray. If we go to the chase cam though of Ant, we see him come to the final corner. If you are wanting to pit, you cannot cross that pit line. You have to be to the right of the pit line before you go across it. You cannot go across into that pit line. And Ginger Bush is going to cross his lap time and improve just a little bit. Jamie, we've got 4 different manufacturers out there. We've got a McLaren, we've got 3 McLarens, 2 Ferraris, 2 Porsches and 2 Bentleys. In these conditions, at this circuit, what is the best car to be in, would you say?
Well, I haven't done much wet weather driving on here, but from what I've seen, the McLaren is probably the go-to car in the wet weather. I think the Aston Martin's been quite a good car in the wet weather as well. I know it's not on the grid tonight, but you might see that tomorrow night or Thursday night. But yeah, I'd say the McLaren's probably got the go-to car tonight.
It does seem to be the way, so we'll see what the McLaren can do then as we go through this evening and see what is going to be what. So we've got 5 minutes left then of practice, and Jamie Brazier, before we get into the qualifying session, I'll give you a mention at the weekend. I don't know if you know this.
I haven't seen watch the mention.
Well, we was in our...
Is.
For those who don't know, I commentate on a racing event called Racing Unleashed. My profession is a commentator. And in our rush hour part of our programme, me and Fabio was discussing about all things Mugello and start line crashes in 2020. You remember the Formula 1 had a big crash there at Mugello on the start line? And I said, it was probably Romain Grosjean involved. I said, I do know a guy. He's like Wikipedia with his F1 knowledge. He'd have been able to tell us right now. Little nod to you there, Jamie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have, though, 4 minutes left of qualifying. And, Jamie, let's talk about some of the new features of Simplay Motorsport this season, on this ACC Season 2. Obviously, weather, the big part of this season. We're into sort of... You wouldn't think we're in the middle of June and in the summer months. It's absolutely baking in the United Kingdom at the moment. Not that it is in France. But the weather's a big change this year, Jamie, in terms of some of the rules and the changes we've made for Season 2. What do we think the weather's going to bring to the table?
It's going to bring a bit of unexpectedness into the mix, where last season in Pro you had the likes of De Silva, yourself, Dan, at the front. With this wet weather, it could throw the form book right up in the air. From driving that I've done in the wet weather, from those who played Project Cars 2,
yeah.
Back when we've done that, it is completely and utterly different. You get on any of those painted curves, and you might as well wave goodbye to the track, because you're going to the wall. But yeah, it's definitely going to throw up some interesting races, and obviously a lot of people would have tested the wet weather a bit more, and some people will be quicker in the wet, and some cars will just be not very good in the wet. That's all.
Exactly. And it's going to be interesting to see. You've just mentioned Project Cars 2 there. What would you say from Project Cars 2 to this in terms of its wet conditions? Is this a bit more of a better game than Project Cars 2 for the wet conditions?
Oh yeah, this is definitely a better game for the wet conditions. Project Cars was just avoid any standing puddles that you could see on the track. That was just that could be a bit of a bloodbath at times on Project Cars.
Yeah, it did.
On here, it just looks. It's just that little bit more natural as you see in real racing.
Yeah, exactly. Dan, in the chat, I know Matt messed up last season here. Does anybody remember? I sure did. And Peter Motorsport says he does. Yes. Got a driver's name wrong at this circuit, in fact, Jamie, if you remember rightly. That driver is no longer with us. He received a lifetime ban. But yes, we remember that one, Daniel.
Yeah, remember that one vividly.
Vividly. Don't forget though, if you are new here, hit that thumbs up button, hit the bell to be notified when we are live, and subscribe to this channel if you are new. We are so close to 500 subscribers. What a day that will be. I absolutely remember messing up last season. Someone would say, and I'm not going to repeat the rest of Rob's comment there. Thank you, Rob. NTS then out on the circuit. The only person left in the pits is Future Revenge at 55. 1 minute 18 left of this free practice session. As we go into qualifying, Jamie, the qualifying format has changed as well. We have a 10-minute qualifying session, but going into week 2, there will be a new format. So last season we ran the qualifying 1 and qualifying 2. In qualifying 2, top half of the grid could not qualify for the second race. This season, it has been changed now to tomorrow night and Thursday night, both qualifying sessions, everybody can qualify. And then race 1 for Spa next week. And race 1, or the only race for AM next week, because AM only have one race, will be a reverse championship order race. And they will have the formation lap to get into that order.
Yeah, which, compared to last season, does make the reverse grid a bit more fair, and no fault of any of us, but just the way the game is designed, that the first person to get into the lobby was then first person to qualify. So yourself or Peaceful, for example, would be in the lobby as soon as it was reset. If you finished in the top half in the first race, you'd be at the front of the non-qualifiers for the next race. That's just how it would be for the season. And people such as myself or Silver could end up right at the back.
Yep, and this is it, and this is why we've changed some of the rules and made it a little more interesting. It should make it more interesting though, because it means that if you have that bad first race, so like if De Silva or Dan, myself or Overtaker last season had a bad first race, we could qualify for race 2, and more times than not, that was the way you won the race. This time, race 2 is going to be half an hour for Pro-Am and Pro, so it's a shorter race. It's not the hour-long race we're used to seeing here, but also, Jamie, the top guys and the quick guys in the championship are going to be starting right with each other every week.
Yeah, they're going to be starting right with each other every week, and it's going to. And race 1s as from next week are going to show who has the proper racecraft to make their way through from the back.
Indeed. So let's talk you through the calendar then this season. So we start the season off the 13th, 14th and 15th of June is at Paul Ricard for AM, Pro-Am and Pro. Next week, the 20th, 21st and 22nd of June, we head to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, the Ardennes Forest, for races for week 2 of the season. Week 3, the 27th, 28th and 29th of June, will be at Catalonia, the qualifying circuit, if you remember from the other year, as free practice ends and qualifying begins. Who's going to be the first driver out there on the circuit? Nobody's gone away yet. Track's still flooded, so this is still great to see. On the 4th, 5th and 6th of July, it will be race week 4 at Zolder. Week 5, Brands Hatch, the 11th, 12th and 13th of July. The 18th, 19th and 20th of July will see us go to a brand new circuit for this season in Kyalami. Right, at week 7, Zandvoort, as drivers now leave the pit lane, and I believe that is JP, the first man out of the pits. Indeed it is, so we'll stay on board him. Week 7, Zandvoort, 25th, 26th and 27th of July for the AM Pro, AM and Pro. Week 8, Silverstone, the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of August. The 8th, 9th and 10th of August is another new circuit, Laguna Seca, and we haven't been there until since our short 6-race season of one race only, where it was just a mixture grid to try ACC out. Hungaroring, 15th, 16th and 17th of August. That ends the season. Jamie, we're looking forward to that calendar.
Yep, definitely.
What track for you stands out above the rest?
I'd have to say Kyalami stands out just because of the nature of it. We tried it for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and for those who haven't tried it, you're into the mother of all sausage curbs.
Yeah, you are in for the mother of all sausage curbs, and me and Jamie will be bringing you all the action in the Amateur League. Myself and Ben Varga will be bringing you the action in Pro-Am, and then you've got the legendary Unorthodox Dan Davis will be bringing you the action with PN Motorsport on a Thursday night, while me and Jamie get to tear up the track and maybe each other in these conditions. We'll have to wait and see. There is a weather change, though. It's not going to. The rain is slowly not going to intensify in the next 10 minutes. It's just going to intensify in the next 30 minutes. So the race could still be wet. So Dan Davis and Pierre Motorsport, your pro commentators. Myself and Benny Varga, your pro-am commentators. And myself and Jamie, your am commentators. Jamie, let's talk the format for am then, because am run a little different format compared to pro-am and pro. One 10-minute qualifying session, one 45-minute race. That is it for the Amateur League.
Yeah, so it's just a bit different compared to pro and pro-am, but yeah, it just means that there's not as many points left there, and drivers have to be more careful because you have one bad race. So they have a bad race tonight. That's already 1 week gone.
Yeah, that is already 1 week gone. Future Revenger still in the pit lane, not yet gone out on circuit at the moment. There's a lot of cars coming down the start straight now, and some just trying to get out the spray of other cars. Also, guys, don't forget, if you want to join our Formula 2 League, get involved. That starts on Sunday with myself and Ivor. We'll be bringing you the action on that one, so make sure you get involved for that. Can Unorthodox defend his title in there? We'll have to wait and see. The Pro and Pro-Am format then, that has changed. 2 half-an-hour races only, and obviously for the first week, as we've just discussed, both qualifyings will be everybody can qualify. The other rule changes, Jamie, is the pit window. It's only 10 minutes now, but your team can pit on the same lap.
Yeah, so it just shortens the pit window a little bit and just makes the strategy a little bit easier. Just on boardly with Shoemaker on the onboard, and the visibility is horrendous. I don't know what cans these drivers will be running, but they've got two cars in front of this spray. It's something else. It's just another thing that Webber's different to on Project Cars. Webber's, it's just so much different.
Yeah, we've just been on board with Shoemaker there to see what he's like, but we're back with JP now, who's coming through what is meant to be the quick right-hander. He's a little wide through there, and he has got NTS right on the back of him. So a point up for grabs here for the first qualifying of the season in this amateur league, which means this will actually be, Jamie, the only pole position amateur can go for in the championship.
Yeah. Yeah, with the different format, so it's going to be very interesting to see who goes quickest, and that could be the point at the end of the season, which wins them the title. Yeah,
that 1 point could swing their way. We will have to wait and see then as Jay comes in. Oh, he's messed that lap up, and so has NTS nearly. Jay has invalidated his lap there. Just looking at his NTS, yes, he has. So the next car on the circuit, I believe, is not the Shoemaker. It is the Porsche of John Andrews, who will set a lap time. And just the cars went straight on there at that penultimate corner.
Yeah, it was very challenging. John's got the team of McLaren behind him. We're being held up a little bit, so perhaps they just need to drop back. Shoemaker goes on to pole position with 2:16.7, which is beaten by Ant RP.
Ant goes quickest. Ginger Bush now the quickest man on track. Still, Future Revenger not gone out there in qualifying. He can get one lap in still if he hurries up. Baraba, though, is out there on the circuit in the green and blue liveried Bentley. And he's to the inside line of the circuit there. Is he taking a different line as he comes back across to the racing line now? He's coming into the quick right-hander. What can the Bentley do? Currently a 2:11.5 is the quickest time from Ginger Bush. And just proving at the end of this circuit, Jamie, that it was a little difficult to get through that penultimate corner for NTS and JP.
Yeah, definitely. The weather's definitely playing a factor. Just on board with Baraba here, coming round towards the last part of the section. He does look like he's just taking his time a little bit. He just ran a little bit wide there. But what I was gonna say is, for those in Pro-Am, there's no longer the safety of them being able to come back into Pro-Am next season if they have a bad season. They've now got to have a semi-decent season if they want to stay in Pro-Am, because if not, they could end up in
Yeah, they
Am.
could end up in this amateur league and only doing the one race of the season. Here comes Baraba to the line, and he's going to cross the line now. And he must have invalidated his time towards the end of his lap. So car 15 is the next man on a valid lap time. Car 19 of MTS, not on one. Danlik, is back in the pit lane. So will he get out for another lap time? Future Revenger isn't going to get out there either at the moment. So far, Jamie, it is Ginger Bush who's setting it his own way. JP coming to the line, but you're completely right. This now means that you have a bad Pro-Am season, you could be relegated into Am.
Yeah, and then, say the likes of, well, not to name anyone, but there could be certain drivers last season we thought they didn't really practice too much and just thought, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to get relegated. You ain't got that this season. You got to get the practice, you got to get those results. Because if not, you'll be down here, which isn't a bad thing because there's some quick guys.
There is some quick guys, and it's a chance for these guys to go his pin to Pro-Am as well and see what they can do there. NTS, the man who set the pace in practice, looks like he's got a bit of a damaged front end. Still not set a lap time yet. As we go back to Baraba in this final sector, he looks like he's going to get one more run in. Future Revenger and Danlik will not get another lap in here then. So they are done for their session. And drivers on their current lap need to make sure they get one. NTS was your pole sitter or was the quickest man in free practice. Currently not got a lap time on the board. He's down in 7th place. So what's he going to do from here?
Yeah, Ginger Bush has ruined his last lap because he went off just after turn 2, spun it on the exit, so he's probably not going to get another lap time in.
Indeed he is, so he's got to get round as quick as he can. Here comes Baraba then.
He's got a valid lap at the minute, so where can he put himself up the final curve?
Yeah, gets out a good...
Yeah, now on the power towards the line.
Peaceful to Pro-Am says down in the chat. Baraba goes P4. Car 15 of Jay, who went 3rd. He's currently on the next flying lap. Pro-Am, Peaceful to Pro-Am. With Pro getting a lot quicker, Jamie, this season, that could be a possibility.
That very much could be a possibility. We don't know who could end up in Pro-Am. One of the quick guys could end up
in Jay! He hits the brakes and the car just does not want to stop. He has a huge wiggle. Ant, he's had a moment as well, so he can get to the line and get another lap in. Here comes NTS on a valid lap. Needs to make sure this is a good one. He's currently at the back of the pack. John Andrews is done as well, so he will not get another lap in. Baraba, he has invalidated his lap. Shoemaker has invalidated his last lap. So drivers coming to the end of their laps. John Andrews has come out the pits. He's not going to get a lap time in. Here, though, comes NTS on a valid lap. What's it going to be as he comes to the line? He goes P1 by 0.2 of a second. Ginger Bush, who's not on a valid lap time, will get to the line and will have one more chance to improve and find 2.5 tenths.
Yeah, but he's just got to the line. NTS is done. He's pulled off at turn 1.
Right, so all eyes on Ginger Bush. Baraba is done. John Andrews came out the pits. He will not get a lap time in. So it is all down now, really, to car number 10. That is Avant, who gets one last flying lap in, as we're just going to take a look at the lap times at the moment while Ant comes to the end. And for John Andrews, he's obviously not had the qualifying he'd have liked there.
No, he's not had the qualifying he'd have liked, but there's ample opportunity to get forward in the race and racing.
There is indeed, and I tell you what, we're going to get used to some of these new drivers and we're going to be able to see what they can do as they go through. Danlik, 72, not the qualifying for him either. He only, though, got the one flying lap in, Jamie.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's had an issue on his second run, but some of them have only got one lap in, and Future Revenge hasn't got a single lap in, but in these conditions that's possibly not the worst thing in the world.
It is possibly not the worst thing in the world, as the Ant's coming towards the final part of the corner now, as we'll come back to the timing screens just so we can update the sim grid. And Ant, getting the rear out a little bit there. Is he still on a flying lap? He is. Car 56 in front of John Andrews. Will not improve on his time as he came out the pits. This is his out lap, let's not forget. But for Ant here, he has the chance to improve. But this final sector, Jamie, has been a little bit scruffy.
Yeah, just a little bit. You've also got Ginger Bush behind, seeing whether he could get position. He's sideways.
Oh, Ant's done. Ant is done. So it is down to Ginger Bush now. Ant cannot take pole position. He is done for qualifying, so it's all down to the Ginger Bush. Can this man get it done? He comes round the penultimate corner. He breaks into the final corner. And for the first and one and only time this season in Pro-Am for qualifying, did he come off the throttle a little bit there? He has. He stopped. So it will not be pole for Ginger Bush. It is only going to be P2. So NTS will take the one and only pole position of the season here. Jamie Brazier, it is McLaren on pole once again at Simplay Motorsport.
Yep, that seems like a story we were saying last season.
It did, quite a bit, with Overtaker and De Silva in their respective leagues. Future Revenger then didn't get a lap in for himself, but it is NTS who will take that pole position. We have some wet conditions, is what Race Control are telling us. And I'm glad they've told us that now, because over the next half an hour, the rain is going to ease up. So we could see, Jamie, some rain easing up. There, though, are your qualifying lap times. That gives NTS his first pole position of his Simplay career, and it gives McLaren another pole position to their name. Car number 27 did a 2-minute 16, which was Shoemaker. As we input these results on SimGrid, obviously a new feature for this season. If you're on SimGrid, get yourselves involved to find out all this fantastic racing. Car 85, it did 3 laps, and that was a 2-minute 13.740 of Baraba.
Yeah, we see NTS have the pace over qualifying and practice, but does he have the overall race pace? And what strategy are the drivers going to play? Are they going to play? Are they going to pit? They going to pit early, or are they going to leave it long?
Yeah, this is going to be the questions we are about to find out in just a moment. And they now have to do their full mandatory formation lap, and that is when we will see who will do what. Jamie, who's your money on for the race win?
Well, my money's got to be on NTS, but it could really be on anyone, because we don't know anyone's race pace. As Ginger Bush has nearly dropped it on the formation lap there. That's not start he'd want.
No, indeed, it's not.
But
so
then
the
someone who's dropped it on a formation lap before has gone on to win the race.
They have, yeah. Who was that legend?
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I think that was yourself, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it was myself, yeah. On another channel. Went on to win the race from spinning on the formation lap. Not my finest moment.
No.
But hey, if it brings a race win, it gets them tyres warm, that's for sure. So then, as we're just putting everybody into the correct order on SimGrid, while all you're watching at the moment is a formation lap for the drivers, a chance to really get their tyres up to pressure. And Jamie, this is another new feature this season. This is going to be interesting to see people's tyres and brakes temperatures going into turn ones of corners, especially in these wet, tricky conditions.
And another thing people don't want to do, last season, if you don't press the ready up, if you didn't press it last season, it was fine, you just start from the pit lane a little bit later. This season, if you don't press it to ready up, you start from the pit lane a lap down, so that's pretty much your race ruined already, as I found out.
And you know all about that, don't you? Yeah, you know all about that one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know all about that.
That is what happens in this then. So let's not forget, we have a opportunity here for these drivers to get some points in the bag early doors of this season and get some points on the championship leaderboard. 1 point already has gone the way of NTS, and that helps for the team battle, because there is 2 teams in this championship. The Flying Potatoes of JP and Ben Bath and the Cartel Sim Racing team of NTS and Danlick this season then. 251 points up for grabs in the Drivers' Championship, 481 in the Constructors. So if you want to get involved with friends or family and you want to be involved in the Championship and want to enter as a manufacturer or a constructor, get yourself in. Brand new for this season as well, Jamie, is the Manufacturers' Championship. McLaren, 1 point to their name at the moment. That also gives them their 40th pole position. McLaren now have more pole positions than Porsche here at Simplay Motorsport.
Which, if you'd said that a couple of seasons ago, I don't think anyone would have believed you.
No, I think we'd have all laughed at you if you'd have said that a couple of seasons ago, with the likes of Gary 131 and Dan D Biggs, Little Leach, all in the Porsche. It's got some way to catch the Audi. In fact, it's only 2 behind the Audi now, and then it's 21 behind the Lamborghini and 46 behind the Mercedes-Benz. So it's got a way to catch them up.
It's got a way to catch them up, and of course there might be a Mercedes on the grid.
Yes, this season
for Pro and Pro-Am, but we don't know.
We don't know.
Well, Matt knows.
I know.
Matt knows, but no one else knows. This is the first time we've seen of what cars people are in.
And we've decided to do this year, haven't we? Where we do a sort of like a media day test session in the practice, where we go through the cars and we introduce you to the cars and the teams and the drivers, especially the new drivers. And we haven't. This is the first time we've not posted really. A few people in the Discord have said, but we've not posted on our social medias of who's driving what car. We're coming to the final corner though, Jamie, and we're getting ready for the first start of this season.
Yep, we are. NTS and Ginger Bush line up side by side. They need to slow it down a bit because there's a bit of a gap.
They do indeed. For the first time this season, for the first time in Simplay Motorsports AM League, the race start is initialised, and it is green and go here at Paul Ricard. That went well, didn't it? Here at Paul Ricard, Future Revenger didn't get a good start, and they're already 3 abreast down towards turn 1. And Jay, the Ferrari split the Porsche and go into turn 1, second and third now. NTS a little deep at turn 1, has to cut turn 2, and he's going to lose the lead. And it is JP from 4th to first after 2 corners. Anti's trying to follow him through and past NTS. He has indeed. Ginger Bush now having a look on the back of the McLaren in towards turn 3. He's going to be on the inside. Can he keep it there for turn 4? No, he can't, because here comes Danlick then in his McLaren to try and go around the outside. Baraba, he's tumbled down the standings a little bit. He's down into 6th place. He's got Shoemaker right on the back of him before John Andrews and Future Revenger are battling it out. But look at Baraba side by side with Schumacher, Jamie, as they come into this middle sector onto the back straight. Baraba keeps hold of P6, but Jay already a 2-second lead up front.
Yeah, Baraba had a bit of a slide coming onto the back straight, but yeah, Jay's trying to check out in these conditions. NTS had a good start, but just went deep into turn 1.
Yeah, he's bouncing over the curbs here, his NTS. He's just bounced over the walls a little bit. He's now in the wall. He's in the wall big time. Oh, and he's collected John Andrews as his car aquaplanes across the circuit. And that is disastrous for the pole leader, the pole sitter. NTS has tumbled down to 8th and has got big damage in the first race of the season. John Andrews gets going as well. But it's Jay from Ant who's gone deep. Ginger Bush goes into 2nd. Danlick up to 3rd. Shoemaker's 5th. Baraba 6th. Future Revenger 7th. Got away with that, but for John Andrews, he's walking a wounded car, and NTS crawling and crabbing away already at the start of this one, Jamie Brazier.
He is indeed, and has fallen behind Danlick now as well. He's now going to try and get past, but yeah, Jay again gone, but horrible luck there for John and NTS and tries to go right around the outside for Danlick. He's going to keep trying. He's on the inside for the final corner. He's going to be very, very tight. Is Dan going to get the cutback? No, he's not. So Anne is back up into
P3.
Into P3.
P3, but here comes Danlick though. He's having another look back at him on that outside line down towards turn 1. Pit your braking zone for this first corner. We saw that the drivers went deep at turn 1. Pit lane is now open, says Race Control, and Danlick slots back into that 3rd place. Schumacher now on the Shoemaker on the back of him. I wonder how many times we're going to do that this season. Baraba, he's tailed off in the Bentley. He's got Future Revenger who cuts turn 2 there on the back of him. John Andrews with his damage. Is he going to come into the box? He is crawling down the start straight, decides not to pit. pits, and I believe NTS has returned to the garage, so that's going to be a long old stop for NTS, but it is Jay from Ginger Bush, 2.5 seconds that gap. Ginger Bush has got 2.5 seconds to Ant, who's already got Danlick by a second, Shoemaker a second and a half behind, and this really the closest fight between Ant, Danlick and Shoemaker on the circuit.
Yeah, John Andrews has continued on with that damage, knowing that he'll probably finish above NTS at the minute, but if NTS gets that damage sorted and there's any more mayhem up
The thing
front,
for NTS is he's got to pit again, hasn't he? Because it's got to be a mandatory tyre change, same as last season already.
yeah, it has, but if there's any carnage up ahead, he'll be able to... Oh, something's happened to Ant because he's dropped back down into 5th place. Danlick and Shoemaker have now got ahead, so I wonder whether he's had a bit of a fright coming onto the straight.
Every time you say Shoemaker, you just hesitated in the middle. You want to say Schumacher, don't you? Either way, we drop back to the 2 Bentley battle between Baraba and Future Revenger. Then in the Bentleys, the 85 and the 574 as they come through the long right-hander cleaner than Pro and Pro-Am, says Daz Automatic. Well, we'll find out tomorrow night, won't we, Daz? As they take to the circuits tomorrow and Thursday night. Myself and Jamie on track. Daz and Pierre Motorsport, you heard in the commentary box a moment ago, is with us. He is watching the pit entry line, and PN obviously doing a fantastic job on that, but Baraba just pulling ahead. He had a bit of a poor middle sector over Future Revenger here, Jamie, and say Future Revenger didn't qualify, he's in P7.
Yeah, he's in P7, he's got himself out of trouble. But Jay must have had a... Jay's
Yes.
had a slow lap. With Ginger Bush, it's been a second.
Ginger Bush is flying at the moment, and we're looking back to Ant now, who's on the rear end of Shoemaker once again, and here comes Ant down towards turn 1. Looks like that front left, Jamie, on Ant's car has got a bit of a scuff on its wheel arch as Shoemaker misses turn 1 and turn 2. He's gone so deep. Does this give Ant the opportunity he needs to come through and take the position? I don't think it does, no, but just look at Ant's front left, Jamie. That to me looks like it's a little scuffed up on the black side of the car.
Yeah, there is a bit, like I say, a bit of damage on the front end of that Ferrari, so he'll more than likely have a little bit of aero damage. It's not probably going to be as bad, going to affect him as much.
Go to the front of the pack. Jamie Brazy, apologies to cut you off there, but Ginger Bush now, it says 0.6 of a second. It is not. It is a lot closer than that as the camera panned out. We see Ginger Bush now. He's on the back of Jay, and he's really going to start to hunt him down. He'll be in the slipstream of that Ferrari in front. The track is still flooded, it says, and there's nothing they can do about it. But at the moment, it is Ginger Bush who is flying and catching on the back of JP here, Jamie.
He is. I thought JP just had the little side he's gone wide.
Very wide through the fast right-hander, and now into the long right-hander they come. And he's
gone
gone very deep. He has gone very deep, and here comes Ginger Bush, who takes the lead of this race. 38 minutes still to go, so anything can happen. And Ginger Bush leads this race from JP, and then from Danlick, who is 5 seconds back. But JP chucked that away himself there, Jamie.
Yeah, he did. He just braked himself into the right-hander, and Ginger Bush didn't need a second invitation. He was straight up the inside. He's now starting to put a bit of a gap. Jay's gone wide again in the background. He had a wiggle on the curb. I've seen so many people have problems through that corner, but he's now dropped wide away behind. NTS still hasn't come back out of the pits yet.
Yeah, I wonder if he's got a long pit stop then. So Ginger Bush leads the race from Jay. That's now a 2.5 gap. Danlick, currently your P3 man, as NTS still in the pit lane. Drop back to Shoemaker, who's got Ant on the back of him once again. Ant's looking each way till Sunday, who's P5. Baraba has pulled away from Future Revenger for P6 and 7. John Andrews running on his own at the minute with damage to his Porsche in P8, and NTS still in the pits in P9. We hope he gets back out on track. But Ant now trying to attack Shoemaker once again for P4 here.
Yeah, and the other thing we're going to have to watch is the track limits.
Yep.
Around here, they're lethal around here. The yellow curbs just on the inside of the corner, they define the track limit.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, Jamie, if in the wet they get extended a little bit.
Yeah, because say in the dry, as soon as you touch one of them, that's a track limit warning.
Good evening to James Souter in the chat, aka James Ash, our F1 champion, not Sutty Daz Automatic, wrong driver. But good evening to James in the chat, our F1 champion. Obviously, new stewards this season as well, yourself and James, Jamie.
Yeah, indeed.
Fancied a bit of that, didn't you? Fancied a bit of that action. Right, down the back straight they come. NTS, let's not forget, needs to finish the race to score points here in this one. So if he's in having a long pit stop, he's got to come back out and finish the race to score points, otherwise he will score nothing. He's on his way now, yeah.
Yeah, he's out of the pits now.
Oh, that is, apologies, just watching Ant. Danlick very wide coming through the fast right-hander. That'll give Shoemaker and Ant a bit of a chance here, maybe. But on board Shoemaker, and he's got Ant really starting to get close to him.
There he is. He is indeed.
Ginger Bush doing 2.2 ahead of Jay, who's got 6 seconds back to Danlick. Danlick 2.5 ahead of Shoemaker. And Shoemaker just 0.7 of a second back to Ant. And Ant seems to have pace here, but he's just making too many little mistakes, Jamie, in this race.
Here he is.
Oh, we say that!
Shoemaker's gone wide. Ant's up the inside. Shoemaker's going to be up on the inside for the final 10. He gives him room. Shoemaker's steady. And they don't make contact. They just drag down to the line. And pulls in behind.
I think that's Ant's damage there, Jamie, on the front of that car that has meant that he's had to pull him behind. Because look, he just cannot keep with that McLaren down the straight here. Is he going to try and outbrake him? No, he's not. And Ant has to tuck back in behind.
Shoemaker's outbraked themselves.
Oh, he's round! Shoemaker's round! And Baraba and Future Avenger both go through. So Shoemaker went deep, as Jamie's just said. And now he goes round at turn 1 and 2. And Ant up to 5th. Shoemaker up, Ant up to 4th. Baraba into 5th. Future Avenger up into 6th place.
Shoemaker, as he was getting back on track, nearly lost it again. So he just needs to be a little more cautious because his tyres are
probably going to have took a bit of a battering going across that blue rumble strip that we know really abuses your tyres then. So it's Ginger Bush who leads the way, 2.5 clear of Jay. He's got 5 seconds back to Danlick. So Danlick's actually closed that gap to Jay a little bit. Big gap back now to Ant after the spin of Shoemaker before Baraba. Future Avenger Shoemaker, John Andrews. He's still going out there, Jamie. He's got damage to his Porsche. We know he's going to be in for one heck of a pit stop when he comes in.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to make it to the pit window, just to try and keep himself in front of NTS for 8th place.
So if we go to the timing screen, apologies, NTS has only just completed his first actual lap of this race due to actually returning to the pit lane.
Yeah, so I was about to say, everyone's just strung out a little bit at the minute, but as we've seen, the conditions are very treacherous, so anyone can make a mistake and the pack can close right back up.
Yeah, indeed it can. Don't forget the rain within half an hour of the start of the race. Jay's gone deep. Danlick had a moment at the penultimate corner. This penultimate corner, Jamie, seems to be the place where people are starting to have a few moments.
Yeah, I think Ant's been off as well.
Yeah, we're just on board Ant at the moment. So the race had 45 minutes on the clock. It said within the half an hour of the race start that it was going to the rain was going to lighten just a little bit. So that means with about 15 minutes to go, if the rain starts to ease off, could we start to see the track conditions change a little bit here?
Very. We could indeed. The gap from Ginger Bush to Jay is now up to 6 seconds.
Yeah, Ginger Bush having a great little drive here. Danlick's got the gap down 3.1 to Jay as well. That was 6 seconds only a couple of laps ago, Jamie.
Yeah, I think Jay just made a mistake coming through the...
he's wide. Again, at the moment, Jay has a little wiggle through the right-hander, comes in through the left that's normally flat out. Danlick here carried so much more speed than Jay through that left-hander. Danlick's charging on Jay then here, Jamie. It'll be interesting to see what the timing screens say at the end of this back straight. But I think Danlick, is under 2 seconds to Jay now. He is really on a charge. And it's Porsche, Ferrari, McLaren. No Bentley's doing the business here today. And let's not forget that if Bentley actually gets one podium, it will be its 50th podium.
Speaking of Bentley, Baraba's just done up the inside of Ant down the back straight.
Yeah.
And he's up into fourth place.
So there we go then, Baraba up into 4th. It needs 1 podium for its 50th podium here at Simplay Motorsport. And I said the gap would be under 2 seconds, Danlik to Jay. It's 1.7. So we'll keep an eye on this battle between Baraba and Ant, as Ant's trying to look back around the outside of Baraba. Can't find a way round there though, and he's gone on to that gravel. And it looks like, Jamie, you put the wheels on the wet stuff outside the track and it's going to just suck you in.
Oh yeah, definitely. You touch those painted curbs. Like I said at the start of the stream, you touch the painted curbs, and you might as well say goodbye to the car in front, because you're going east or westwards.
Oh, Jay's had a moment. He's gone very deep as we were speaking about that, and Danlik now is up into P2.
Ant's just had a moment. It's just tap the side of Baraba. Baraba's managed to control it and sideways again. Yeah, Ant just knocked himself, locked up under brake, and just touched the rear of the Bentley and probably given himself a bit more damage. Where Future
Revenger.
Future Revenger is literally just off the back now, so that Bentley can smell blood.
Well, Jay had a bit of a wiggle coming through the final corner as he tried to get the move back done on Danlik, and that is now put to bed. 2nd place, Ginger Bush out front. He's dominating this one from Danlik. And then it is JP down now in 3rd place. He's got 6 seconds back to Baraba. Could he get Bentley's 50th podium today? This could be absolutely fantastic. In Bentley then, tomorrow and Thursday night, could be in for a potential chance of getting its 25th race win, because it only needs 2 wins here. Has someone had a moment? I believe Ant has had a moment and has stalled the car. Shoemaker as well is at a yellow flag. No, Ant's still going. It's Shoemaker who stalled the car.
Yeah, Shoemaker, I think, has just probably touched that wet painted surface again and gone off. And I think NTS has been off at the penultimate corner, gets back on and continues on his way, but yeah, Shoemaker not. Oh, and he's round again onto the back straight. He's cooked them tyres.
He has cooked them tyres. The bonus is the pit window should open in the next 9 seconds, so Shoemaker here then has absolutely cooked his tyres. We go back to Ant, who's got 1.2 ahead of Future Revenge, but he's only 1.6 off the back of Baraba, as Ant and Baraba very wide there. Pit window still actually hasn't opened here then, so when does this open? 45 minutes, not an hour, is it? So, let me do some sums here. 22 and a half minutes. So the pit window opens in about another 7 minutes time. There we go, Jamie Brazier.
Yeah, so Shoemaker's just going to have to be careful. I think he's gone off, and unfortunately we have lost Shoemaker.
We have lost Shoemaker then, so he then has not finished this race.
Jay's just been off again. I just seen that in the distance. I just see the blue of that Ferrari coming back onto the track, and he's 3rd to 6th, and now really starting to close up.
Jay's not having the best of times at the moment, is he?
No, he's really not, and he's soon to find that Bentley on the rear wheel, but I don't know whether I know that's John in front of Jay. I thought Danlik had made a mistake somewhere.
Well, we're on board Jay, and there you can see the 3 cars behind him, all trying to get through and do the business. So for Shoemaker, it will be a DNF in his first race, and that will be no points to his name in this one. That is not the start to his season he would have hoped for here then. So Ginger Bush 13.5 seconds clear of Danlik, who's 7.5 clear of Jay, but Jay is struggling as they're now about to start to lap John Andrews. Another rule that's changed this season, Jamie Brazier: blue flags, you have to obey them.
Yeah, you do. There was so many problems last season where people were defending against blue flag, so that rule has been brought in. But Ginger Bush is out there. Yeah, he's out there on his own. He could get a newspaper and he'd probably still be in first.
And pop over the road for a croissant, why not? So Ben Fuller in the chat, repping the Flying Potatoes from Mexico. Come on, Jay. That is Ben, who will be joining us in the season when he's back off of his holiday. I hope you're having a fantastic time in Mexico, Ben. And
Baraba.
he will be on the amateur track as he goes. Baraba, though, right on the back of Ben's teammate Jay, as the pit window doesn't open at 22.5 minutes. It opens now for a 10-minute pit window. Drivers have to change their tyres. And, Jamie, this is where strategy now comes into it, as Baraba all over Jay through this final sector.
Yeah, he is indeed, and this is where Jay really, really struggles. So if Baraba gets this right,
Oh, there he goes, here he goes, Jay's deep. Jay is so deep, he's off. And you just see the front wheels aquaplane across the track as it is flooded at the moment. And Jay straight into the barrier. The bonus for Jay, Jamie, is the pit window is just opened, so he can get back on. He slowly tries to rejoin. He can't turn that car.
Yeah, he can't turn the car. I don't know. He's managed to. He's trying to J turn it, I think.
That has got that front right wheel is not turning on my screen. He cannot turn this car. Ant, the first man into the pits.
Has he got a puncher?
Puncher, possibly. That is not turning. Oh, Jay.
It's either his wheel has got a problem or he's got a puncher. He's gone bored.
Well, if that has to be a return to the pit lane, that could be catastrophic in terms of his race, because that'll be an even longer pit stop than he'd have wanted.
Yeah, I can't really see, but that's the only thing I can think of, unless his wheels. Because he's turning fully right and the car's just going straight. Jay, if I were you, I'd just return that to the pits.
I think that is a potential broken suspension then on that front right. You see the damage to the front right of the car. That is big damage there. So John Andrews in the pits, and Ant was the first man to pull the trigger. As NTS now, he has to pit to change his tyres. You'll see the orange with the one in the middle. That identifies who has completed their stops or not. And for Jay, he's really trying to get this in the pits. Ant, though, Jamie, has done his stop. He's out the pits. He's on the road again.
Yeah, Jay's still stuck at the final corner, and Ginger Bush is now going to come around to lap him. Jay, if you listen to the stream, there you go, he's returned.
Yeah.
Returned to the pits. He'll still get some points.
He'll still get points. He could possibly still finish ahead of NTS, but it was once the race leader. That was a huge hit into the wall, though.
Yeah, so it was like into the corner. It just looked like he had a suspension failure or like I said, a puncher. But it just couldn't turn because that car just did not want to go into the corner whatsoever.
So Ginger Bush leads the way from Danlick. Baraba is currently P2 as Danlick comes past the pit lane. He doesn't decide to pit. What about Baraba then? Is he going to come into the pit lane himself? He comes down the start line. Not this time around. Future Revenger 7 seconds behind Baraba. He comes down the start line. There'll be no pit stop for him. Ant is P5. He's currently on the back straight halfway down it. Jay is in the pits. John Andrews is out the pits coming through the first sector. NTS coming towards the end of the lap. We've not spoke much about NTS in this race. Had big damage to his car where he had to return to the pit lane. As Ben in the chat jinxed it, he says. It seems that way. Hope you're having a good time though in Mexico, buddy. I'm sure you can apologise and make it up to Jay when you get back. But NTS, Jamie, quickest in qualifying, quickest in practice. The race just didn't go his way with an incident.
John's just spun the car. Is he on the? Question is he now on the same lap as Jay?
It's Jay.
He is. So he
right.
could overtake Jay for position if Jay's in the pits.
So we keep our eyes out on when Jay starts moving, and we keep our eyes on John coming around the track. NTS does not pit this lap. He stays out on the track. Car number 10 of Ant. He's done his pit stop. He's nearly a lap down, but the leaders, don't forget, have to pit. Ginger Bush, Jamie, 23 seconds out front. Future Revenger over this lap has gained 2 seconds nearly over Baraba this time around. So he's starting to put the pressure back on the Bentley driver by getting closer.
Yeah.
As he loses a second to Baraba through the first sector. So ignore me there.
Indeed. Who's he got? John. Baraba's just got John in front, so that's just going to play a little bit of havoc with him because he's not going to be able to see in front, and John just needs to come off the racing line there. We go Baraba.
Slows it down, and Baraba's through.
Baraba is through, and Future Revenge just see the bit third place Bentley just up the road, but he still has to stop as of yet. And John is going to come round to the penultimate corner and could possibly have 6th place here.
Future Avenger dives into... Sorry, Danlick dives into the pit lane then. Comes across, and he
Future
did.
Avenger's fun.
Future Avengers had a spin then towards the end of the lap. That is a shame for him. And there's PN, our race steward today, one of our stewards at Simply Motorsport. He cut pit entry just slightly. We did see that one. John, though, gets himself past Jay, who is still in the pits. He could have NTS on the same lap as him shortly. But Ginger Bush, Baraba, haven't pitted. Neither. Future Revenge is now into the pits. So he's pulled the trigger after his spin. Where is Ant, who was in a fight with Future Revenge, Jamie? If you remember on track, he's coming into that final sector now.
Yeah, he's just gone through the quick right hand.
Car 19 NTS has had a moment final sector. Just heard the engine sort of die on him. He stalled the car. He gets it back going. But NTS had a big moment as he's coming round now.
Yeah, he had us. Oh no, he's heading to the wall again.
Has he got damage? Has he hit something? This track really playing havoc with people today. So Danlick, Future Avenger, is in. Jay, he's not changed his tyres.
Oh.
He's done all of that and not changed his tyres.
So I have to come back in, but the silver lining for him is NTS has now got to come back in. Oh, he's still
NTS, NTS has got to repick. That's the bonus for him, and NTS has got damage at the minute. Ant's coming round the final corner. Danlick is away and out the pit lane. Ant will be ahead and some as he goes past now of Future Revenge. So Future Revenge has to catch back up to Ant in this race. So the top two, Ginger Bush and Baraba, yet to pit. Jay pitted, didn't change his tyre, so he's got to come back in. And for NTS, well, he's now in the pits for a second time, but this time he drove in of his own accord. Ginger Bush, Jamie, in the pit lane.
Yeah, he's into the pits. He should come out ahead of Baraba. So, and Baraba should really hit this lap. Jay will have to come back in this lap unless he wants 137.
Yeah, that is the name of the game here. It's Baraba at the final corner now, so I don't think Ginger Bush will be able to do his pit stop before Baraba comes through, but Baraba looks like he's got a pick. He stays tight, comes into the pit lane now. Where is Jay on circuit? He's by the final corner, so Jay has got to come into the pits this lap and get his stop done. Where's Danlick? Coming through the fast right-hander as Baraba is coming down pit lane. Ginger Bush should be away now then as Baraba gets to his pit box. Danlick should get second place back in this race. Ant is only 15 seconds off the back of him, so charging with under 20 minutes to go. Future Revenge nowhere near him. John Andrews unlaps himself from the leaders once again. For Jay, he has to pit this lap because he will not make another lap, Jamie.
No, he won't.
Oh, he's struggling at that same corner.
Yeah, Ginger Bush is now out of the pits, but Baraba's still in the pits. And Danlick is at the penultimate corner. Whereabouts is Jay? Jay is coming into the pits. Jay, make sure you don't speed and make sure you put your tyres on the wall. That was possibly a bit quick. You don't want to add insult
right.
to injury. Where's
Danlick
down the pit straight. Baraba not moving.
Yeah, not moving. So Danlick takes that second place and does it with ease. Here comes Jamie. Ant as well, as Baraba's now leaving the pits. He's off the limiter now. And here comes Ant, who's charging down the start straight. Up to top speed is Ant, quicker than Baraba. I think Baraba, though, should have this one done. And Ant now on the back, maybe, of that podium once again that he threw away himself a little earlier on in the race. So Ant versus Baraba for a podium. Danlick well ahead in second. Future Revenger way behind. And we've got Jay and NTS still in the pit lane, unfortunately for them. But for John Andrew, for keeping going, he's now in sixth place.
Yeah, Ant's actually just got through on Baraba. He just drove past him like he weren't there. I think Baraba's trying to get his tyres up to pressure. And Ant picked a few laps earlier. He's already got his tyres up to pressure and just strolls on past.
Has he put slicks on?
That's the biggest thing to know. Has Baraba put slicks on, says PM Motorsport. Yeah, we were on board with Baraba at the moment, and he does look very tentative. He's very wiggly as well, Jamie, as he comes onto the back straight. A little sideways through there. Is that slicks or is that just under pressure tyres? Well, time will tell us in a few moments' time. Jay this time has done his tyres and done his stop and is out the pit lane now. NTS, don't worry about the pit window. Close in 15 seconds because he's already at his pit box, so it will still count. You have to be in the pit lane before pit window closes. What a dramatic opener to the season, Jamie.
I think
Ginger Bush is off.
I think Ginger Bush has gone round. He's got a big enough lead, but I'm pretty sure Baraba's got to be on dries. He's gone so far wide, and I've just gone on board with Ant, and it says in the bottom right, wet. Go on to Baraba, and it says dries.
Baraba possibly on the wrong tyre then. Future Revenger, 11 seconds off the back of Baraba. That gap is tumbling down. In fact, I bet if we go on Baraba here, we'll start to see Future Revenger as Baraba just cannot get it stopped and turned in. Look how slow he is through each corner just to get it turned in. Has Baraba got to come back into the pits here? One man this could benefit, who's now on the same lap as these two, is that, who's a lap behind Baraba, is that of John Andrews. Could he potentially get another place? Ginger Bush, 18 seconds clear of Danlick, 13 seconds clear of Ant, who's got Baraba, who's just now been passed by Future Revenger, and that is 4th place for Future Revenge. And the Bentley is not having its own way. I imagine we're going to see Baraba in the pits.
Yeah, he's cruising, and he's cut the pit entry line, but he's going so slowly because he can't turn in. He
doesn't want to put his foot down and spin the wheels up and lose the car. The less damage he gets this lap, the quicker the pit stop. NTS still in the pits. Poor guy's not had a great race. Jay down in 7th. This will help him unlap himself. For John Andrews, he will then be on the same lap as Baraba if he can pass him during this pit stop. But for Future Revenge, it's 4th place here. And Baraba still yet at his pit stop, at pit box. Stops now. As John Andrews lets the leader through.
Yeah, lets the leader through very, very nicely there. Danlick still 18 seconds behind.
And Ginger Bush has had a spin at that as well.
Yeah, from the look of it, Danlick is pushing very, very hard to try and close this gap, but there's not long left in the race, and Ginger Bush has got a sizable gap.
Yeah, indeed he has. Oh, John, he's had a spin. Exited penultimate corner. He's gone round on his own as Baraba now gets away. So that was John's chance to get on the lead lap. Not anymore. 14 seconds, Ant to Danlick. Ant is actually gaining on Danlick slightly here.
I'm pretty sure I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's put the dries on again.
Oh dear, Baraba.
Oh no, he's managed to get through the corner fine this time. But on the screen at the bottom right it says dries. I don't know whether it's not updated, but he looks more up to speed. No, he's still sliding everywhere.
So potentially has put the dry tyre back on for a second time here. Ant crosses the line. Gap's now under 14 seconds to Danlick. So Ant, now that he seems to have repaired that damage to the front left of his car, seems to be absolutely charging. Does this mean then, with Baraba, who's just coming through the bottom end of the circuit, has John Andrews not far behind him? John Andrews will be unlapping himself to be on the same lap as Baraba here.
Yeah, Baraba's definitely put the slicks in the game because he's drifted massively wide coming onto the straight.
Well, here comes John Andrews, and he's coming down the back straight. The car in front of him is Baraba. It's not for position yet. Ant out the first sector is now under 13 and a half seconds. So if he can go with a second a lap, he could be on the back of Danlick on the final lap of this race. And we saw what happened here last season between KLF and Holty on the final lap, where Holty managed to get past KLF then. But here comes John Andrews. And you just hear that Bentley so tentative on the throttle. Danlick 20 seconds back to Ginger Bush now. Ant comes through the timing screens. That gap is now... Not yet, sorry. He comes across it. It's 12.3. He's took a second out of Danlicker's Ant at the moment.
Yeah, Baraba went so wide he was near enough in Italy.
Yeah, going to Manicourt.
Yeah, you got John Andrews now right on the back of that Bentley, struggling. I don't know. I imagine Baraba doesn't know how to put the wet tyres on.
Oh, he's just got to be careful here because he doesn't want damage for himself, and he's just currently being lapped by Danlick, and Danlick there would have just got held a little bit by Baraba, so that'll possibly bring the gap down even more to Ant. Now, does Baraba pit? Surely he has to re-pit here, or is he going to try and stay out and get it going? He's staying out, Jamie Brazier.
Well, if he doesn't know how to put the wet tyres on, it's pointless just coming in and out of.
NTS has got to make sure he gets out the pit lane to score points here. He'll get a penalty to his name, but if he doesn't finish this race, he will not score points. And that will be a retirement. Now, obviously, retirements used to lead to qualifying bans. It won't anymore due to the reverse grid. So then, Ant comes through. He's 9.8 to Danlick now, so Danlick really got held by Baraba, Jamie, on that last couple of corners there, because Ant took 3 seconds out of him in the final sector.
Well, Ant's now got to get through Baraba, and you can see how much Ant is chasing. He's got that Ferrari absolutely hooked up. You just see the Bentley in front of him. He just needs to get out of the way quite quickly. And Baraba, who's not really got much control over his car at the minute, kind of gets in the way a little bit, but Ant is straight through. And you've just got another lap car in between, and Baraba goes off into the scenery.
Ant 9.9 off the back of Danlick then, 11 minutes left in the race, and look at that, within the next 10 minutes of this race the radio's going to ease up even more, so the track has stayed flooded for the majority of this race. In fact, it's been flooded since the get-go in practice. What will it be like tomorrow night in Pro-Am? Join me and Benedict Varga, who's in the chat. Good evening to yourself. Join me and Benny live tomorrow night for Pro-Am, 8 PM BST. That is UK time, where we'll be live with Pro-Am. 20 drivers on the grid. Who will do what there? And don't forget to join PM Motorsport and Dan Davis live on Thursday night for Pro, where me, Benny and Big Boy Brazier, aka Jamie, will be taken to the track. Ant lost a second in that middle sector to Danlick. Is that because of the traffic of Baraba, do we think?
I'd imagine so. He's got John Andrews just up ahead of him as well. And I've just seen Ginger Bush. He's got Ginger Bush's lap time. His lap times are now what they were doing in qualifying, so you can tell the track is getting much quicker as Ant. Oh, no. Just keeps it on the track. Had a bit of a wiggle coming through that front corner.
Well, with the rain getting a little easier, Jamie, I wonder if the track is just starting to slowly have water cleared by these 7 drivers. Obviously, NTS looks like he's retired to the pits, and we lost Shoemake here as John stays out the way. The thing for John now, then, is he's now on the same lap as Baraba. In this 10 minutes that's left of this race, can John get around that track if Baraba doesn't pit and get on the back of him? Baraba's only just exited the last corner and he's trundling round. John is through turn 2 while Baraba just crosses the line. So John could be on for a battle here. Ant 9.2 with 9.5 minutes left, Jamie. That could be exciting on the last lap.
Yeah, definitely. The gap is closing every single corner.
He's cleared the traffic. The traffic for car 85. Who's that off? Baraba. Just looking at the track map, well off there. He's about to be lapped by Future Revenge.
And he's got big damage as well.
Yeah, so he's hit something now. It looks like he has a bit on the front as well. So he's hit something. And Baraba, well, he's taken to the slip road here to not get in the way of Future Revenge. He's trying to survive. His tactic obviously hasn't worked of trying to get round on the slick tyre. It has not worked for him at all. But for Ant, what will be the sector time as he comes up towards the sector 2 timing beam now? He crosses that timing beam, 9.26 still the gap. So he's not really caught anything in that middle sector, which is pretty much just the back straight.
Yeah, it's going to be this final sector where he tries to catch a lot more. It's just gone a little bit deep there. Whereabouts is John Andrews in terms of Baraba? Baraba is just coming onto the back straight, and he's got car 9? No, not car 19. That was Jay just going past.
He's returned to box.
He's returned to the pit lane.
Who's that? Baraba. So then Baraba returns to the pit lane, and that's going to give John Andrews and possibly Jay the chance to maybe get past him.
Yeah, I think possibly if some drivers are new to a video, might need to just to show drivers how to put the have put wet tyres on during a pit stop. Just
Ant crosses the line. Apologies, Jamie. 8.4 the gap with 7 minutes 40, so he needs to motor on a little quicker than this if he is to do so. But it's Ginger Bush, who was very wide coming onto the back straight, leading from Danlick. Ant, Future Revenge now in 4th. Baraba in the pits. Here comes John Andrews. Has he now just passed Baraba for position? I believe he may have done. We'll see through the set times. JP, currently 7th place. He will unlap himself from Baraba. And NTS, who looks like he's retired in this race. But for Ant, Jamie, Ant may have a chance of catching Danlick as Danlick has spun coming towards the back straight. And there is Ant. There he comes, Jamie.
Yeah, he's right on the back now. He can smell blood.
Oh.
McLaren, he's gone again. And Ant's up into 2nd. Danlick's just got to make... He's got a decent gap to Future Revenge. He's got six minutes and change left on the clock. He's got to be so cautious now.
Well, he's got to be cautious. He's got Ant now ahead of him. And if he makes a few more mistakes, you imagine that Bentley could pounce on the back of Danlick. So Ant, how has he gone back to 2nd place here? Before the pit stops, he was all over the place. He's now 36 seconds off the back of Ginger Bush, who's having it his own way. Danlick has threw away 2nd place. Needs to hold on to this to stay ahead of Future Revenge, who is way behind at the moment, but can get this one done. John Andrews goes through a sector time look and has got himself now into P5. So John Andrews, fantastic for him. Baraba still in the pits, and Jay will be on the same lap as Baraba next time around.
Yeah, I wonder whether we'll see Baraba come back out. Even if he doesn't come back out, I'm pretty sure he'll still get 7th place, as he's done quite a lot of the laps, most of the laps.
So then, here comes Future Revenge, 25 seconds off the back of Danlick for Ginger Bush. It's been a fantastic drive, Jamie, I have to say. It's been dominant from this man.
It has indeed. He's not had everything his own way, because he didn't get pole position, and we've just seen him make 1 or 2 mistakes. It's not been perfect, but it is a very good way to start the season.
Very good way to start the season. Baraba still in the pits. He needs to get out if he's to score points. NTS needs to get out if he's to score points. Jay then is coming around the final couple of corners. This will put him on the same lap as Baraba. So for Baraba here, needs to hurry up and get out of this pit lane, and hopefully that his pit stop done, because Jay will be on the same lap as him and has time to get past. But it's Ginger Bush from Ant. Danlick 6.5 seconds behind. Danlick's had another spin at the same part of the track where he spun last time around when Ant was catching him, and that is not what he needs if Future Revenge is to get past him. Comes through the left-hander now, and he just wiggles through that left-hander, and for Future Revenge, he's going to be getting closer to Danlick.
Yeah, he is indeed. He is very much indeed. John Andrews is in between Future Revenge and Danlick at the minute, so that's a bit of hope for Danlick. The fact that there's another car in the middle, but he just cannot keep making these mistakes.
This could put him off the podium, Jamie, at the moment.
Yeah, Ginger Bush though, is nearly 40 seconds ahead of second place.
He's had a good night. Jay then has gone through sector 1 and he's now on the same lap as Baraba. NTS still in the pits, Baraba still in the pits. Them two need to get out the pits to cross the line if they're to finish this race. Which Ginger Bush from Ant. We could only have 6 finishes here if Baraba doesn't get back out the pits. But Danlick needs to make sure he doesn't make no mistakes. He's got 22 seconds back to Future Revenge. And what can he do here?
Yeah, he's just got to keep... Just got to be nice and steady. That's not nice and steady. He's just gone straight off, and Jay has managed to get into 6th place.
So Jay then has passed Baraba. That'll obviously be at the point where Baraba pitted. And that is exactly what Jay would have wanted. He's kept going. and has managed to pick himself up some more points, Jamie, in this race. Poll going out for driver of the day. Ginger Bush, Ant Stanlick or Future Revenge. Get your votes in on the poll of who you think deserves driver of the day. It's been a fantastic drive from Ginger Bush. Danlick, 16 seconds off the back of Ant already, and Future Revenge is only just coming across the start line. For Baraba then, he's P7, needs to get back out on track, as does NTS if they are to score points. And here comes John Andrews, who is on the back of Future Revenge, but is some 2 laps down at the moment. We'll get Jamie's driver of the day a little later on, but Ginger Bush has just been fantastic.
Oh yeah, he's been absolutely fantastic. Dan, like, coming through the section where he's made a mistake after 2 laps, doesn't make the same mistake this lap.
Jay's back in the pits. He's driving in the pit lane. Has he not got enough fuel in the car?
You can't put it in now either. Because that's what was the
Yes.
new rules.
So what has happened to Jay? A puncher maybe? I'm not too sure. But Jay is in the pit lane. Baraba still in the pit lane. NTS still in the pit lane. And John Andrews has had a spin at turn 2. He's slowly getting away. Future Revenge pulls away as the leader is on the final lap. We ride on board now the back of Ginger Bush as he comes through on this final lap of the race. Jamie, what a drive for the Porsche driver. We haven't seen Porsche be dominant or take race wins for a while, and Porsche back on the top step here, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely looks that way. I know there'll be one man or two men in the chat that'll be very happy that Porsche.
Yeah,
they
will indeed.
In a long while.
Because it will be Porsche's 51st victory as well. So it's not had a win for a while, and it'll now be its 50th race win for Porsche. And what an absolute fantastic place for Porsche to be in. Leading already. Ant's just lapped Jay, so Jay's come back out the pit lane. Baraba and NTS need to both get out the pits and finish this race. Otherwise, they will also score no points. Get your votes in for driver of the day. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit the bell to be notified, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Pro-Am back live on your screens tomorrow with Paul Ricard at 8 PM BST UK time for that one, where myself and Benny Varga will be bringing you the action there. Before Thursday night, Dan Davis and PM Motorsport will be bringing you the action in Pro with me and Jamie Brazy. Will be taken to the circuit. But Ginger Bush into the final chicane, into the final couple of corners now. We're going to do driver interviews as from next week. We're going to make sure we've got everybody added on the PSN and do driver interviews as from next week as Ginger Bush just goes a little deep there. But Jamie, again, solid night for this man.
Oh, very, very solid and a very solid way to still.
Well, we say this. Keep it together. Keep it together.
Yeah, you don't need to be too exuberant, Ginger Bush, as he comes to the line. But yeah, very solid way to open the championship.
He comes off the throttle. He gives it a little weave across the line. But Ginger Bush will be your first race winner of the season. Well done to him. Here comes Ant, who's had a fantastic recovery drive in this one. For Ginger Bush, though, it is absolute glory for him today. What a fantastic drive he has had. For Ant, he's not yet finished though, Jamie.
No, he hasn't. Baraba's now come back at the pits, but I don't think he can control his car.
Ah, well, he will finish the race. That's the main thing.
He can control his car because the car turned, but there's no throttle.
Well, Ant gets second place. Jay crosses the line in P6.
Danlick coming round. Danlick's coming round the penultimate corner. Keeps it on the black stuff to the final corner. Up the curb. No drive-through penalties. No penalties of any sort in first race. And
fantastic that.
And limited amount of contact.
There's Danlick into the wall at the end there, so clearly slipping on a puddle. Future Revenge, not a bad race for him. He's going to come across the line and take P4 in his Bentley. So it's no 50th podium for Bentley today, but it is a 4th place and more points on the board for these guys. John Andrews then, he's a bit of a way back at the moment, a lap down.
not helped by contact at the start of the race, but he comes through for a 5th place nonetheless, and we're just waiting now for Baraba.
For Baraba, so we'll have 7 drivers who finish today's race. Baraba's just at the first sector, so we'll wait.
He's actually managed to put the wets on now.
Ah, there we go. Well, he's figured it out at the end, and that's great to see. Jay then a couple of laps down at the end of this. In fact, John Andrews finished a couple of laps down as well while we wait for Baraba to get to the end. So the laps for John Andrews was only 18, the laps for Jay was only 16, and the laps for Baraba will only be that of 14 laps. NTS, not the night for him at all, Jamie.
No, not the night at all. But for Spa next week, hopefully he can come back stronger, get a few points on the board.
Yeah, hopefully as well for the other drivers in this AM category as well. They can get some good pace on the board. Either way, here comes Baraba now then. NTS will be classed as DNF, but Baraba is going to come to the line. In fact, he hasn't finished. The timer has gone too far. So for Baraba, he should get to the end of this race. And he's going to be a bit of a way back at the end. He comes to the line now. Baraba will finish in P7. We lost NTS and Shoemaker. And Baraba crosses the line. And Jamie, that is all we have time for then in this amateur race tonight. Who then are you giving driver of the day?
Ginger Bush has got to have my driver of the day. But an honourable mention to Future Revenge, not qualifying and then coming back for 4th place. But
Indeed.
Yeah, Ginger Bush has got to be my driver of the day.
Indeed it is. Gary131, evening to you, buddy. Hope you're well. This doesn't look pleasant. Hopefully I'll be fit for Thursday. Hopefully you're well, Gary. Don't forget your paddles, indeed. So I'm going to give Ginger Bush driver of the day. The fans in the chat gave Ginger Bush their driver of the day as well. That then is the first AM race of the season put to bed. And it goes the way of Ginger Bush. Let's not forget NTS is on a point after his pole position, but it'll be reverse grid championship order next time out for the drivers. The Drivers' Championship, though, looks a little like this. Ginger Bush leads the way on 25 points. 23 points then for Ant. 21 for Danlick. 19 for Future Revenge. 17 for John Andrews. Jay gets 15 points. Baraba on 14. NTS on 1. Ben Bath, he's on holiday at the moment. He should hopefully be here next week. Leon Ferdy didn't race tonight. No Dean Wasaki either. Shoemaker retired. No points for him. And Checo hopefully back as well. As that then was your race. The Cartel Sim Racing team on 22 points. Flying Potatoes on 15. They're the only two constructors in this one. And if we look at the Manufacturers' Championship very quickly at the moment, the Manufacturers' Championship is joint for all 3 groups. Porsche lead the way on 42 points with Ferrari on 38, Bentley 33, McLaren 22, Audi, Aston Martin, BMW, Honda, Lexus, Lamborghini and Mercedes yet to score, which means you know that them cars who are yet to score are possibly going to be racing tomorrow night or the night after. Tune in though to find out. Tomorrow 8 PM BST for the live action of Pro-Am. Myself and Benny will be live for that one. Thursday night Dan Davis and PN Motorsport will be live for Pro. 8 PM BST. F2 starts on Sunday as well, 8 PM BST for that one. Make sure you sign up if you want to be involved in our F2 League on F1 2022. And we shall see you next week. Jamie, any final words?
Very good night for our first ever AM race. Very clean. Hopefully the drivers learn a bit more for next week. Hopefully we'll have a few more people for next week, and should be in for an interesting championship.
Indeed it will. That's all we've got time for here at Simply Motorsport tonight. We hope you had a fantastic evening. Take care. We'll catch you tomorrow. Good night. That was all right. A few more cars, I think, to be even better. But
Yeah.
I thought the standard of amateur in these conditions was actually
That was
decent.
bad, was it?
It's actually, yeah, it was decent.
Only one pit entry breach.
What are we doing about retirements now?
I think Mike will discuss it, probably. Yeah, I'm just going to shut my stream off. Bye.
I
See you tomorrow.
imagine it's probably going to be a set number of retirements that would just be points taken away.
Because normally retirement was a quali ban, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, and I'm going to propose this in the stewards chat, a one-place grid penalty or a two-place grid penalty.
Yeah.
Championship order, you get a two-place grid penalty and you tumble down 2 places.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in the stewards chat and see what people think.
Well, you got 2 of the stewards here.
Yeah, no, Louis
Got
and
me and
James to have
Jamie
their
here.
say. But I think a two-place grid penalty
Yeah, and then I think a
to me
certain,
seems all right.
and then I think a certain, if you do it like, I don't know, 3 times, you get put to the back of the grid for the next race.
Well, put to the back of the grid and you lose 25 championship points, don't you?
Yeah.
So that rule still applies where you lose the championship points. What we'll do is type that up now and mention it, and we'll see what James and Mike have to say and stuff. Lobby should be reset back to normal. Let's just double check. And it should be set now, so it's the time and days. Yeah, it is 70 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Because I think tomorrow and Thursday we may get some dry running in. If it's 40% wet from the start of that FP1 session to the end of race 2, well, tonight 40% could be wet the whole way through, and it was starting to get lighter as the session went on. Hence the minus on the clouds. I reckon tomorrow it could stop raining and it could start to dry.
Yeah.
It will. That's all we've got.